Hello everyone, welcome back to JDCodebase. This is the web development series. In this video, we are going to learn events in JavaScript. Now, don't worry if the word events sound confusing, and I will explain everything from zero very slowly with examples. Events are one of the most important topic in JavaScript because this is what makes website interactive. Buttons, forms, typing, clicking, pressing key, everything works because of the events. By the end of this video, you will clearly understand what events are, how click, input and keyboards event work, and why add event listener is important because and how real website actually use events. And as always, PPT and code files are available in the video description, so you can practice along with me. So let's get started. So in this video, we will learn what events are in JavaScript. Common events type like click, input, keyboard events, and inline events versus JavaScript event, the add event listener method, event object and how to use it, best practices, and real world example. We will understand everything clearly step by step. Now, first question is what are events? Events are simply action that happens in the browser. These action can be done by the user or something by the browser itself. For example, clicking a event, typing in an input field, pressing a keyboard key, page it loading. Whenever something like this happen, JavaScript can listen to it and react. So in simple words, event allows JavaScript to respond to user action. Without event, website would be completely static. Now there are many events, many types of event, but we will focus on the important ones like mouse event, click, double click, mouse over, mouse out, keyboard event like key down, key up, key press, form and input event like input, input change, submit, focus, blur. You don't need to remember all of them now. We will practice the most common ones. So let's move to the VS Code. So this is the basic HTML file, a basic styling, and this is how it looks. UI, two buttons and one input field, one is anchor tag. So first, this is the file. Now first write the JavaScript in the script tag document dot get element by ID btn. First, this button, this click me button, and on this add a event on click and on click means when the button is clicked, and inside this function alert button click. So here document.getElement by ID btn selects the button, and dot on click means when this button is clicked, the function runs only after the click happens. Now let's see in the browser, and when I click on this button, click me, a pop-up comes, this button click, and you see that the alert. So this is how JavaScript react to the a click event. Now next one is the inline event. Now, inline events are written directly inside HTML, like we write the styling CSS in directly HTML tag. So, for that, we have to just write button on click, and inside this, just give the, let me give in this button. So, button on click, say hello. And I give a function reference here, so say hello function, and also write the JavaScript function say hello, and inside this alert hello. So this work, but it is not recommended. Why? Because let's see, inline button, it say hello. So because the HTML and JavaScript get mixed here, even when if I want to write the inline styling means just give a single one style, so I have to write here. So this makes the mix means in this inline styling. So code become messy and hard to manage in the big projects. So we avoid inline event. Next one is the event handler. Event handler is the another way is using JavaScript like this. Like I already write here this document.get element by id btn and dot on click function. So this is better than inline event, but it has a problem. You can assign only one event. No new one will override the old one. So that's why we use a better method. So for that we use a dot add event listener. This one dot add event listener. This one is the most recommended way to add the JavaScript, add the event on the elements. So let's see. First initialize let btn equal to document dot get element by id, and inside this get element by id btn, and on btn dot add event listener, and event listener is like a click event, and inside this make a function, write a function that console.log button click. Yes. Now a dot add event listener means listen for an event. First argument is a event name, like here I write click event. Second argument is a function that runs when event happens. So let's run this. So first I have to open the console. So when I click on this click me, button click alert and button click here. So button click alert comes from this document.get element by id btn on click event, and this console.log, let me write here add event listener, and here this on click button. So you can see easily find out that. So click me, on click button click, and add event listener button click. So you can add multiple events here. Code is clean. That's this is what professional use. Always remember this. Use add event listener instead of writing the inline, instead of writing the direct on click button, on click event. So let's move to the input fields. Input event examples, like we can get the value of input field from the input field. For that, like I have input field input, type is text, id is a name, and placeholder is some type something. So this is a basic input field. So let's write first select the let input equal to document dot get element by id name, and after that apply again the add event listener on this input dot add event listener. Event listener here is the input and type is input, and the listener means function is the function, and inside the function I get the value from this input field input dot value. So here input event fires every time user types, like here type something. If I write JD Codebase, if you see here in the console, it first write J, then JD, then JDC, then JDCO, then and code base. Every time when I type any alphabet, it prints here in the console. So input event fires every time user type. Input dot value gives current text on the in the input field, and very useful for the validation and live search. And try typing and check consoles every time, means for the any bug issue. Next one is the keyboard events. Keyboard events are detect key presses. Like let's make a document dot add event listener, keyboard, key down, key press, and key up. So let's say key down and function. It's say console.log key pressed. So if I click any key, I click the space, I click the enter, I click the input button. So every time when I click this key press come here. So this is used in the form validation, games, keyboard shortcuts, and these are some. So next one is the event object. So this is an important concept, event object. Whenever any event happened, JavaScript automatically sends an object. Like I click a, I apply, I have this btn button. So btn dot add event listener, and on side this click, just write a function. This function takes a value event and console.log this event. So let's run this. On click button click, add event listener button click, then I get the click me event. So here you get the all the values, the at what position this button is placed. This means I click, pointer type is the mouse, screen x and y value, and the type is the click. So you can see here in the console, and the event object, this event object contains full information about the event. So if you remember, if you see in somewhere in like in CSS, you see this when I click on this mouse, there is a means animation comes, and this is come from this JavaScript.add event listener. Next one is the useful event object properties. Some useful properties are like event.target, element that trigger event, event.type, type of event, event.key, which key press, event.prevent default, stop default action. So most important one is the prevent default example here. Like here I have a anchor tag for the reference of the google.com, and id is here I'll set it to link. So let's say document dot get element by id link, and inside this I set a add event listener. Event listener is the click for this, and a function event, and call this and event dot prevent default console.log link click prevented. So if I first I comment this, so let's see normal one. When I click on this go, it take me to the google.com. Okay, no issue. So let me uncomment this. So now when I click on this go button, it's a link click press, link click prevented, but it doesn't move to the google.com. I am clicking again and again. If you see, this counter is 17, 18, 19, 21. So this is how this very useful in the forms, means the link will not open Google when until I write the prevent default. If I remove this prevent default, it's moved to the google.com. So this is the prevent default examples. And now inline versus JavaScript versus add event listener. Inline events does not recommended, and not at all. Online click in JavaScript sometimes in rare cases, and add event listener always use this add event listener. On click in JavaScript sometimes in rare cases for special cases, and inline events not recommended at all. So Some best practices: always remember, use add event listener, keep JavaScript separate from the HTML5. Like here I am right in this HTML5 using this script tag. Always use a separate file. Like let me create a new file dot .js, and inside this, wait, print here, move this console and connect here inside this script. Source is the 13 events in JavaScript. Now all these event click me works, input inline all works. When I write something, everything comes, and by one clicking google.com works. So always use a keep separate JavaScript separate file, but and use clear function name and avoid inline events. Always learn event delegation later, means I will teach you. So events are used in the form submission, live validation, toggles menu, keyboard shortcuts, interactive UI. Every website uses the event. So today we learn what events are, how event works, add event listener is best, event object gives the details. This topic is very important, so practice it. So that is for this video on events in JavaScript. If you understand this clearly, you are doing great. If not, pause, practice and repeat. PPT and code links are available in the description. Like, share and subscribe to JDCodebase. In the next video, we will learn event bubbling, capturing and delegation, which is very powerful. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.